Hello everyone and welcome back to another Star Wars figure review. Today we're taking a look at another figure from the Black Series 6-inch line, and this figure comes to us from Star Wars The Force Awakens. The figure itself is of course none other than General Leia Organa, and this is a really nice figure. Not a whole lot going on in terms of accessories and overall detail, but again, like with Maz Kanata that we took a look at in my last review, this is a figure that we've been waiting 2 years for. Obviously, The Force Awakens came out in 2015, and it's taken this long to get a figure of General Leia as she appears in that movie. I'm really impressed with this one though. I love the sculpt on the face, I love the outfit that she's wearing, and overall I'm just really pleased with how Hasbro have handled this one. So without further ado, before we jump into the review of the figure, let's take a look at the packaging that she comes in. Once again, we do get the standard Black Series packaging design with this one. Got the Black Series logo featured at the top of the box, and down in the bottom corner you've got some really nice artwork of General Leia herself. On the side you've got the number in the series, and then on the back you've got the Black Series logo once again, the number in the series, and a brief description of the character. So very nice packaging, at least in terms of the artwork. As I said, you all know my feelings on the Black Series packaging design. I definitely think it's time for a change, but I'm not going to go into too much detail about that now. Instead, we're going to take a look at this very cool figure. Now, first and foremost, we'll run through articulation, and then we'll touch base on some of the finer details. So right off the bat, she does feature a ball joint and a hinge at the neck, so she can look up, down, all around. The sculpted collar on the shirt does slightly hinder that motion, but nothing too major. She features hinges at the shoulders, elbows, and wrists, a ball joint or a swivel at the upper torso. It's a weird joint. It's not really a fluid ball joint, it's more of a swivel, as you can see, but that articulation point is there nonetheless. We do have hinges at the hips, swivels at the upper thigh, double joints in the knees, and double joints and a rocker at the ankle. So basic articulation for the 6-inch line. Obviously Leia doesn't see a whole lot of action in The Force Awakens, so she's not, it's not a necessity that she's superposable, but all those articulation points are certainly appreciated. In terms of accessories, she simply comes with her standard blaster pistol, which I believe is the same blaster she used in the original trilogy, at least in A New Hope. Again, we never see her use this in The Force Awakens, but it's nice that it was included, otherwise the figure might have been a little bit boring. Unfortunately, there's no holster to secure the blaster inside. Again, she doesn't use one in the film, so the outfit in that respect is screen accurate, but for the purposes of this figure it would have been nice if there was somewhere to store the blaster pistol, just so when it's not on display with the figure you've got somewhere to store it. In terms of the costume itself, again it's a faithful representation of what we see on screen with General Leia. You've got the waistcoat there, which looks really nice, the collar overlapping that, that sort of Alderanian regal looking belt buckle that she's worn on the previous outfits, I believe. That definitely rings a bell if I've seen it before, I'm sure. Obviously she has the sleeves rolled up and that sculpt is nicely reflected, and she does have that really nice hairstyle going on as well, very similar to how she styles her hair in Return of the Jedi during the Battle of Endor, so that's a nice bit of continuity there on the part of Lucasfilm. And again, the head sculpt on this one is really nice. The paint applications aren't perfect, they really don't do the head sculpt itself justice. I've seen some stunning custom work of this figure where the head sculpt has been repainted and just looks, it almost looks like a scaled down plastic version of Carrie Fisher. It's weird how impressive that sculpt is, but again, Hasbro's paint applications aren't exactly the best in the world, but it's not to be sniffed at. It looks, adequate, it'll do, but no doubt could be better, and I think this sculpt would have definitely benefited from the photoreal paint application that's going to make its debut in the spring of 2018 with figures such as Captain Rex and Rey. But for all intents and purposes, this is a really nice figure. What I really like about this one is that she rounds out the original trilogy trio. So if you've picked up Luke Skywalker from The Last Jedi and you've picked up Han Solo from The Force Awakens, obviously Leia is a necessity just to round out that original cast. Obviously we're not going to see a reunion in The Last Jedi or any of the forthcoming Star Wars movies, but nice to have nonetheless. So I hope you've enjoyed having a look at this figure. I will be back with some more reviews very soon. I've got another figure to give you a look at from this wave of Black Series 6-inch figures. That character comes to us from The Last Jedi, and then we're going to take a look at some store exclusives as well as some older figures from the Black Series, and we've also got some Funko Pop vinyl figures to take a look at as well, and some new 3 3/4 inch figures to take a look at in the coming weeks, so make sure you stay tuned for those. Until then, as always guys, thank you for watching, keep collecting, and as always, may the Force be with you.